After years of testing, tuning, and developing WP linkage shocks, Ride JBI has finally found a way to bridge the gap between OEM suspension performance and A-kit level suspension performance for a fraction of the price.
Welcome back to Ride JBI. I'm JB, and this is Anthony next to me. Today, we are going to officially release and debut our JBI Spec kits for the WP linkage shocks and also the WP PDS shocks. We've been developing WP suspension for many, many years. And while we've always gotten good responses and good settings out of the stock stuff, we always found there was a pretty big gap between the performance we could get with the stock suspension versus performance we could get with the WP track suspension, or maybe even other brand kit suspensions that are for the KTM, such as like the KYB kit suspension for KTMs and so forth. We've been spending a lot of years exhausting kind of all the options and settings available with the stock components. And over the time, we just started tweaking and modifying additional parts beyond the valving in order to really bridge the gap between the OEM suspension and the kit suspension.
Before we explain to you guys why this WP linkage shock DIY kit or revalve service is one of the best, if not the best, services and or products that we offer here at Ride JBI, we must go over the price differential between our revalve service and our DIY kit versus that A-kit option, also the suspension performance out on track between the two, and then also the componentry seen within the two, being that is the biggest differential in performance when you're out there on the track.
So our JBI Spec WP track shock, that is $2,800. And what that is that's a complete shock. We respring it for you. So we give you the proper spring that you need, and we revalve it for you as well. In comparison, our JBI Spec revalve is either $525 or $500, depending on the year, make, model, KTM, Husqvarna, or gas that you have. Because it'll slightly vary depending on which generation WP shock you have. And then again, as he alluded to, we also have DIY options of the same exact stuff. So whether we build it in house for you or if we build you a DIY kit, you're going to get the same attention from us and custom settings as you would. Now, I understand some of you are probably thinking to yourself, how the did they do this? And I totally understand that. I've been tuning WP shocks for a long time. And again, I've always gotten good performance and feedback out of tuning the stock shocks. There was always quite a big gap between the performance and results we could get with the WP track shocks. So before we go over what's different in our JBI Spec kits, let's first touch on the similarities between the WP track shock and the WP OEM shock. First, we'll start at what's called the shock shaft. So the OEM shock shaft and the kit shock shaft, they're both 18 millimeters in diameter, and they're both the same length. So what that means is the amount of volume that the shock shaft is displacing through your compression adjuster is the same. Now, the size of the shock shaft has a big influence over how the shock feels and performs. So right off the bat, we can check off that the shock shafts are the same in terms of the amount of oil they displace. So right off the get-go, we have two items that are pretty much identical. This applies for the 16 to 22 WP linkage shocks and also the 23 to current WP linkage shocks. This also applies to the 16 to 22 WP PDS shocks, and of course, the newer 24 to current WP PDS shocks. Another key part that has a lot of influence over how a shock performs and feels is the main piston that mounts onto the shock shaft itself. So the main piston that we find on this new 23 WP shock and the main piston on the Trax WP shock is identical. The only difference is the piston band that is around it. We have our common composite material piston band on the OEM shock, and we have the Teflon coated piston band on the WP track shock. That can be applied to it. However, just the difference in piston band, we don't see a huge difference in performance. So it's really not an item that we focus on. But again, the piston itself, that's where the shims mount to and where the oil flows through. Those are both identical and have a big influence over how the shock absorber performs, feels, and functions. So now we got two things that are pretty much identical between the kit shock and the OEM shock. And after that, that is about all that they have in common. Next, we can focus to the compression adjuster itself. So on the kit shock, we have two compression adjusters where they separate the low and high speed. And on the OEM shock, we have them married and together into one unit where the high speed and low speed is all together. We're not going to focus too much on the aesthetic difference of that. We have a separate video that goes into all the details about our new JBI titanium compression piston and how that is similar and different from the WP shock, and also similar and different as the other KYB, Showa shocks, OEM, or kit as well. So what we noticed though and took note is that on the OEM shocks, the WP compression adjuster piston, this piston I have in my hand here, is unique and only used in the WP OEM stock shocks. In the kit shock, they utilize a much different style piston design. It looks much more similar to our JBI compression piston, which we make out of titanium. This style of design is what you would commonly find in all of the KYB and Showa OEM and kit shocks, and is also the style of piston you would find in WP's track shocks. So that's one item we can look at right there that has a big influence over the shock, but is different between the OEM shock and the WP kit shock. Therefore, at Rad JBI, we went ahead and we designed and developed our own JBI compression piston, so that way we can reap the benefits of the improved function and performance of this style piston. To simply put it, the design of the piston and how the oil applies pressure against the shims, it has a lot more leverage on our style pistons. What that means in terms of rider feel is the shock's going to be much more supple over small and medium bumps. It's a style of bump you'll consistently find going into corners and coming out of corners, because that's often where we are under heavy braking going in and also hard acceleration coming out. So when a shock can really follow the ground well, that is a sensation that a rider calls traction. And that is something that all riders value very high in their setups, whether it's an off-road setting, motocross setting, or supercross setting. Everybody wants good traction as they accelerate out of corners and go over multiples of bumps. So now that we've gone ahead with our JBI Spec kit and we replaced that piston, now we have three things in common. Again, the shock shafts are the same size, the main pistons are relatively the same, and now our compression adjuster pistons are relatively the same as well. The last part of the puzzle is that the OEM shock uses what's called a piston design, and that's what separates the oil on one side and the nitrogen gas on the other. While these do work well, and we do have good settings utilizing them, there's definitely a certain amount of stiction associated with these. And we have always found that all riders tend to prefer the Bladder style shock. Now the WP Exact Pro shock to my left already comes with the bladder inside of it. So what we did at Rad JBI is we went ahead and designed our complete own bladder kit about 2 years ago. And we even went ahead and designed our own bladder. We're not using any existing bladders now because we didn't ensure that we got the exact volume of nitrogen that we wanted. And more importantly, we had the exact surface area as well. That's really important because if you utilize a smaller bladder, there's gonna be less surface area for the oil to push on. Ideally, we want as much as possible, so that way this bladder has to deform the least amount to account for the volume change inside of the shock. Why is there a volume change? Good question. The volume change is from when the shock compresses all the way and the shock shaft goes into the shock. That's going to take up volume. So somewhere in the shock, we need to account for that. So the bladder is what squishes out of the way to account for the volume change. That was kind of cool. Should we do it again? Nice. So after we put our bladder on there, now if we're looking at strictly hardware, pretty much our JBI Spec WP linkage shock has all of the same hardware, or relatively 99% the same hardware as the WP track shock. And logically, as you can expect, is now going to perform very similar as well. One of the key differences still is going to be the track shock has the track functionality. That is more of a clicker function that has a big effect on the rebound. From our experience of testing with riders, some riders love that functionality, so they use it. Other riders are not a fan of it, so they end up either removing that feature or they just turn the adjuster in all the way to really limit its influence over how the shock performs. We've maxed out what we can achieve with the stock suspension. So in order to pursue our path of continuous improvement, we have to further improve upon it by changing out certain hardware parts. And that's why we're very transparent and open about it with you guys. So you can see what we're doing, why we're doing it, and most importantly, what you as a rider should expect when you get your JBI Spec suspension back. And what you should expect is smoother over the small and medium bumps, better hold up as you ride aggressively, and better bottom resistance for high impacts and jump landings. This JBI Spec kit is available as a revalve service, so you can send in your shock to Ride JBI and we'll build it for you. Or we also have it available as a do-it-yourself install also. Again, you're gonna get the same attention and custom settings that we would give to you, whether you send it into us to do a revalve ourselves for you, or if we send you a DIY kit. We just like to give you guys options, so we have more than one way to reach our customers here locally in California and also all around the world.
Now that we've gone over what we did, why we did it, and most importantly, what the rider should expect after receiving their suspension from Ride JBI, let's go over the custom tuning that we further optimize to the rider's height, weight, riding ability, and most importantly, where they are located. Because we have different settings from riders who are here in Southern California, close to the Ride JBI HQ, but we also have further optimized settings for those riders, say back at Florida, who are riding PAX tracks, Moto Bros, or even if they're lucky enough to ride Moto Sandbox, which is a private facility. We have different settings all across the nation or even across the world.
Yes, YouTube's been a huge source for us helping and getting a clear understanding over the uniqueness of your terrain based on where you are. So when we do help people that are outside of California, a common question that you hear me ask is, where do you ride, or where do the trails you ride if you're doing off-road? And please tell me the name of those spots, because I'm going to go on YouTube and look up some videos. And we'll look up more than one video. We want to get an idea of how that track or that trail and riding spot shapes up throughout the year. Because as we all know, how the track is in the wintertime can be very different in the summertime. So we want to get a good idea of how it is throughout the year. And also just get a clear visual on what your terrain looks like. Because I may describe a jump to Anthony that I think is big, but then he might look at it and be like, yo, that's fucking small. So it just helps to get an exact insight to what people are seeing and what you're describing to us as your rider. Because that can help us really understand how we need to customize our settings to fit you specifically.
Now, I think a lot of the viewers are sitting at home watching this and getting a further and more intuitive understanding of what we do here at Ride JBI. Not only do we swap out the hardware to have more in common between the OEM shocks and the A-kit shocks, but we also take the time to test, tune, and develop these shocks, both OEM and A-kit, to really bridge the gap between OEM suspension performance and A-kit level suspension performance. Now, if someone were to come up to you or even me and ask us, hey, is A-kit level suspension worth it? What would be the best answer for them? Because if I have my answer ready, I'm locked and loaded. What is your answer?
I personally think it really comes down to expectations and program budget and what people are after. People, their budget's a little bit different. So I think A-kit is an easily purchasable and accessible item. For other riders, I understand, and including myself, A-kit is quite a bit of an investment for it. So it is very good stuff, but sometimes I think it is a little maybe overmarketed in terms of how good it is, because even the best suspension, you still need to get properly set up for you. The WP kit shock is really good right out of the box, but it doesn't mean it's perfect for everybody. Their moto settings are definitely on the firm side and very much for professional riders. If you're a local moto guy, it may not be your favorite setup. And again, they have off-road WP shocks that you can buy right out of the box and they work well, but that's what their off-road setting. They're not saying it's for hard enduro, flowy single track, or Baja Desert. It's just a good off-road setting. So it definitely can be an improvement compared to just stock, but it doesn't mean it is as dialed in or customized to you as a stock suspension that's been revalved or even another kit suspension. So I guess kind of roundabout answer. It really depends on kind of what your expectations are and what your budget is and what you're after. But I'm a very, not frugal guy. I like to be cost effective when it comes to stuff. So if I can get something that works as good as a Ferrari without having to buy a Ferrari, I'm probably going to go that route.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think our JBI Spec WP OEM shock that we're kind of coining into transforming into the A-kit style shock is the best route. Not only is it the most cost-effective option, it's really budget-friendly. And to even take it a step further, our pro rider and world champ Giacomo Redondi actually prefers this shock over our JBI Spec Exact Pro 8950 shock. He actually raced that shock out at the NGPC Havasu and won that. And then a few weeks prior to that, he also raced W World Vets and got second just behind Phil Nicoletti on that shock. So for any of you guys questioning the durability or the performance of our JBI Spec OEM shock, I challenge you to go watch those videos and see how hard Giacomo pushes, because he's a multi-time world enduro champion going out there and really competing with some of the best of the best. Phil Nicoletti led laps in the Pro Motocross Series just 3-4 months ago. So he's no slouch.
Yeah, way to pull that into context, man, about Giacomo. I will say that when we first tested with him, he was a little bit reserved when I pulled out our stock shock to show him that that's what we were going to test today. I know he was kind of like, what the freak is that? But he quickly turned around his opinion of it once he got to go out and ride on it. We have done back-to-back testing with the kit shock as well. And again, we are getting very good settings with it also. So we're not trying to undervalue or say this doesn't work well. It does. The main takeaway is we're trying to get at now is we've worked really hard to get your OEM shock to work almost as good and at a fraction of the price. And it's been a lot of fun to figure out how to do that. Because again, we've been at this over a decade, tuning these WP shocks and figuring out how to make them the best we can.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of what we're going to call Bridging the Gap between your OEM suspension performance to AK level suspension performance. I think we'll have more videos on similar topics. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, there'll be more to come very, very soon. Thank you guys once again for watching, and we will see you guys in the next episode.